Welcome back to the Lyman and Healing podcast, where laughter meets inner peace. We're your host, Shaka, and I'm Kiana. Thank you so much for tuning in for last week's episodes, where we talked about introduction to love languages in terms of romantic relationships. We appreciate all of your likes and your comments and all of the questions we've been getting in our inbox. Keep them coming. We will love to keep answering those questions and feature some of those questions on future episodes. So thank you so much for your viewership. It means a lot to us by supporting us, by leaving comments, by sharing it with your loved ones, and subscribing on all platforms. Like, once again, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube at Lyman and Healing. We thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to this ongoing relationship that we're gonna have with you guys, where we lime and we heal together. So this episode is gonna be a great one. So Shaka, tell us some more about what we're gonna be talking about. And
so I know last week we talked a lot about love and love language, in the spirit of Valentine's Day. And definitely we want to continue to do that. I hope you guys had a good Valentine's, loving your partner, taking those advice that we gave you guys and using it. We really hope that you guys use that quiz and definitely the information and try to make that your partner's day special. So we want to continue with that theme. See our love it back there, Ron and Rhonda, right? We want to continue in the theme of love, but this time, right, we're going to talk about not love language with your partners, which we really focused on last week, but love language with your family and your friends, right? Because they're important too. So our episode this week is going to be Liming in Love, right?
Yes.
We want to focus on how we can love our families and our friends, because they need love too, right?
Absolutely.
They need love too. So we want to touch on last week's love languages, and I'm sure you guys probably remember them because you took the quiz and you learned about yourself and learned about your partner. So we just want to go through the first one's words of affirmation, right? Just giving a kind word, giving compliments, praises. The second one is acts of service, basically demonstrating some kind of helpful action with, by doing something for your loved one, whether it could be anything, cooking, cleaning, anything that they may appreciate. Receiving gifts, we talk about buying something for that person because they love receiving gifts, but making sure you buy something thoughtful. The next one is quality time, spending time with your partner, having that connection, or with any of your loved ones, just spending time with that one-on-one time, having that connection. Exactly. And the last one we mentioned, physical touch, which I know we got a lot of comments on this one, and we really appreciate it. But just basically hugging, kissing, caressing, whatever you do and more. That's basically what it is, right? So we just want to touch on that, and we want to continue to talk about it because it's a big topic.
Absolutely.
And we want to dive into
important topic.
We want to dive into it some more in regards to our family and friend relationship. So why do we want to talk about this topic? Why is it so important for our community?
Stick a pin. Before we jump into this, how could we forget that we were repping West Indies?
Yes!
West Indies. Shout out to Shamar Joseph. Rally run the West Indies.
Hey, we love them no matter what, right? Big up.
It's we on.
Literally, we.
But yes, let's get back into the topic. So why do we want to talk about this topic? Love languages can be expressed between family and friends, as well as romantic partnership, as we talked about last episode. However, this may look obviously differently, from a romantic relationship versus a platonic relationship.
Yeah.
So in this episode, we're gonna dive into that, because a lot of times we feel we don't make the effort for our loved ones the same way we would for our romantic partner.
Yeah.
And that we need to stop that. Those relationships are just as important because they're all part of your community, a part of your village. And once again, we need to be more intentional with the people that we, have in our circle, and love them and support them in the way that they desire, and vice versa.
So another reason why we want to talk about this topic too, because a lot of people might say, well, why you want to do this? We focus so much on our partners. That's true, but that's not the only people that we spend time with, right?
That is true.
We spend time with our family, our kids, our friends. Even the people that we work with, they become your friends, right? Yes. I'm not saying to go and have your associates or whatever and do the most of them. No, I'm not saying that. But we spend a lot of time with our family and friends, and we need to show that we appreciate them. And especially in a Caribbean society, we think that, that's not necessary. And we want to showcase, why we want to talk about this. Because the first thing we have a very reserved communication style. Our Caribbean people, we don't express emotions. Right now, and it's hard. It's hard for us to do. For me, it coming from a place where you express no emotions, and then coming here with so much emotions, kiss, love. I'm like, it's so much for me, right? But it's important for us to do it. It's worth it, right? Yes. So we like to play, you gotta be strong, you gotta be independent, all these different things. So to express love like that, that's not something that we want to do. So our communication style is a bit too reserved. Yeah. Right. So that's one of the things why we want to talk about this topic, to open that up. Right? What else?
Yeah. So in our culture, there's also like a strong emphasis on traditional gender roles. Yep. Culturally, men and women might have different ways of showing affection. And for example, men might not show affection at all or as openly as, because they have to appear tough, they have to be machismo. And a lot of times, they weren't hugged as little boys. And that's sad, like men deserve to be, shown love and affection tenderly in a non-sexual way, because we're all humans, and that's a part of the human experience. So in our society, it might be customary for women to be more affectionate with each other, give a little hug, and not that's not for all women, because some women are like, oh no, get off of me. Like we've had friends like, whoa, you're too affectionate, get off of me, which is like crazy.
I am the friend.
Yeah. So it really is something that we're not used to, and and then there's gender roles that doesn't help.
Yes, that is true, and that's something we want to examine and look at. Another thing we want to look at is our community beliefs, right? Because the Caribbean culture is such a community focused, community. Which is great. We love that. That's one thing I think I love the most about the Caribbean communities, that we're so community focused.
Love
we care and love for each other. But we're not gonna be like, oh, I love you or hug you or but we will be there for each other. Like, somebody throw a party, everybody showing up. A wedding, everybody showing up. Invited or uninvited, they're showing up. Or even like funerals and stuff like that. Yeah. Right? Like when I came over in America, I've met people who never even been to a funeral, and I was shocked. I was like, what? You never been to a funeral? And we in Caribbean, we've been to how much? But because we like to show up for people.
Yeah, we're a small community.
So, and that's the way we do that. But there are other things that we can do as well, and that's what we want to talk about. What's another reason that we definitely want to talk about this?
This is an ugly part of our history, but the history of colonization and slavery has definitely shaped...
Always slavery.
It always leads back to slavery. It's definitely shaped how Caribbean family and friends interact. And, as a people, we've learned to be strong and resilient, which means, don't show affection openly. Like, it's good to be strong. It's good to be resilient. Like, those are admirable qualities. And it's what has kept our people alive for generations after generation. So, but we've been in a survival mode for so long that we haven't had a chance to thrive. And, that's something that impacts us, because if we're always surviving, when are we going to be able to take a time out breathe, to really connect with each other, in a way that truly heals us.
Yes, that's so good. That is definitely good because we've been doing one thing for so long. Now, times is different. We don't even know how to adapt. Right? And that's another reason, or last most important reason that we want to talk about this is our, generational differences and how we want to like look at new ways that we can do things.
Yes.
A lot of people, they talk about, oh, you guys are talking about these topics, but they're so, oh, it's not for people we age or people younger, or I'm too big, I'm too old. Like that's
can't teach an old dog new tricks.
That's ridiculous. Exactly. Yeah. That's ridiculous. We don't want that kind of thinking, right?
Agreed.
I know a lot of younger people might be more adaptable, or it's like, oh, this is the modern way or whatever, but we want everyone to come along on this journey. Absolutely. No matter the age, right? Because once you're alive and breathing, you can learn new things, and you can
change.
Yes. And that's how you want to progress. You want to learn new things. So that's one of the reasons why we want to definitely bring this topic out and talk about it and see how we can progress and do more and heal.
Yeah.
Right? So then we want to show examples of each of these love languages and how what we can do. Just give give some example of what we can do to express these love languages.
Yeah, absolutely. So right off the top, we can start with words of affirmation. And, once again, words of affirmation is expressing love through verbal communication. And an example of this is like sending encouraging text messages to each other. Like we joke about big aunties that forward you the good morning messages on WhatsApp.
Every morning, thank you, aunties.
Yes, thank you. Like, things like that. As much as we might joke and be like, oh, these old people always sending these prayer threads and stuff like that. Those are like one form of words of affirmation where they're trying to encourage you. And that's something that you should definitely do, because at the end of the day, like, we need to be able to be there for each other. And something as simple as, it might sound crazy, saying thank you for whatever reason. Caribbean people do not like to say thanks. I don't understand why, but it's like it's like someone does something nice for you, say thank you, cook little food for you, send a little raise for you, say thank you. Because at the end of the day, that's someone is going out of their way to do something to support you. And we need to learn to show appreciation vocally. Like, I know we're a people where action speaks louder than words, but words matter.
Yes.
That should be a new shirt. Words matter.
They do. Words matter so much.
And another example is like a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's sad to say, but a lot of people encounter mother-daughter, like, dysfunction in their relationship, or like there's a competition,
or they're tougher on their daughters.
Yeah, they're tougher on their daughter compared to their sons. Like, it could be jealousy. We can explore that in a future episode. That's a whole.
We don't know why it made them more caring.
That's a whole other can of worms we need to open. But for now, let's keep it tight. But sometimes mothers tend to be a lot harder on their daughters, and it could be because sometimes how the world is on women. And true. Maybe she's trying to prepare her for the world. But mothers, remember that. If you're teaching your daughter how to cook a meal, you don't have to criticize her. You don't have to talk down to her. Like, if you really care about her, uplift her. Even if the food is not good, tell her, like, sweetie, that's a good job. You improved from the last time, but next time maybe try adding less salt or something. Exactly. But there's a better way that you can communicate to your loved ones. And once again, those kind of words really help to shape the way that people, like, the relationship and how people interact with you. Because if you're always like being so hard or like arguing down, it gets tiring, and people build up a wall. And you might notice that with your kids. Why whenever you come home from work,
That's good.
And as soon as you hit the door, why doesn't wash? Why doesn't do? Blah, 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 whatever. Rightfully so. I get it. We don't have kids, but I can. Adulting makes you realize, like, you're working all day, you're stressed out.
Yeah.
The chicken still hard in the freezer. We understand.
We can cooking on chicken.
We get the frustration, but once again, we hope that by listening to this episode, you would take an opportunity to communicate better and choose your words wisely.
Yeah.
So that it brings about connection rather than disconnection.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I really hope that people internalize that. I don't know why mothers are more hard on their daughters, but that's something that they really should pay attention to, because I don't know, maybe they think because they see themselves in their daughters.
I think so. I think it has something to do with that.
And they want them to make sure they do everything right, but do it nice. We ain't gotta be harsh at people, man. Agreed. Do it nice, right? Okay, so the next one is acts of service. And a good example is dads and their daughters. A lot of dads, they have daughters, and sometimes they're like, let the mother deal with it too. They don't want to spend a lot of time with their daughter, but you can do that. You can do a project together. If you're outside fixing something, bring your daughter along. Absolutely. Right? Bring your daughter along, show her what to do. That's spending that quality time. Spending that time with them, but it's showing her like how to do stuff for herself in the future too. But that can be like, way that you incorporate acts of service. Absolutely. Right? Also, another one that is big is sibling relationships, like helping each other, like parents. You have your two sons, your two daughters, or your daughter and your son, whatever, right? Let them support each other. Somebody get homework, somebody in the big class, in the class of the big class, help them with the homework, the assignments, or they gotta clean together. We can't have the siblings fighting like cats and dogs and stuff like that, right? And then there's some parents be like, I know y'all think. No, that's crazy, right? Because you know what happened? They get big and then nobody talking. And they be like, I don't know why they don't talk. Because when they were younger, they didn't love each other and they didn't do something nice for each other, right? But sometimes both of their love language was acts of service, and they could have been helping and working together with each other. Or even with sibling relationship, like you're teasing. Sometimes somebody words affirmation, going back to that, and you're teasing them and you're doing that. I mean, yes, we know people tease, people fight, but it's important at least to draw some kind of line. Yes. Because you never know what their love language is, and people take these things to heart. Then they're adults, and now they're not talking, and you want to know why. This is why. So even though we encourage, siblings, they fuss and fight or whatever, ensure you're fostering good, healthy, loving relationships.
Absolutely. And I love what you said about siblings and, fostering that healthy relationship, because it's important that, parents, and this just came to me, to not show favoritism among their children, because even
that's a whole
lot of topic. But just to tie it into love language, it's important for you to really guide children, in a way so that it can be supportive to each other, in a way that is fair and reasonable. It's not fair to have, like, for example, the eldest child doing everything. Like, that's not fair to them either. Because y'all might not want to hear it, but then I make them pick me. It's not a children, but that's another topic. Moving on. So another thing too is like giving thoughtful presents to show your appreciation. Yes. Because once again, give people, love language, giving. It's just, let me buy something for you and give it to you. Yes. No, there still need to be thought. There still need to be intentionality with that. And giving also is a good way to know whether or not you know someone. How well do you know someone? Yes. Because pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to your friends, like what they talk about. What are their interests? What are their likes, dislikes? And then tailor that to give them a gift that actually matters. Like for me, there's two types of gifts I like. I like functional gifts, meaning give me something that I will use. A pen, if I need pens, then you give me a pack of pens. Love it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna use it. And I like gifts that are tailored to me, like it's something that for a fact, a certainty that I would like. So do stuff like that to show that you're listening, that you care, because it's not just giving a gift; it's actually giving a gift that actually makes sense. And and even in the context of Caribbean culture, like obviously, you pack a barrier, you set it down, Christmas time. People appreciate that because once again, it helps. And I'm not just packing a barrel, any old thing, but things that people actually like. Things that people actually like, not just throwing some old clothes and some old shoes inside. I'm sorry, I gotta say what I'm saying. And and the other thing too, like we, people, Caribbean Americans, people living in America, we love we little practice. Whenever people coming up from back home, coming up with a little pepper sauce. Like for me, I like achar. So whatever it is, like, once again, those are little things that we can do for each other that foster, that show that love and care if that's what matters to you.
Yeah. And remember to say thank you when you receive it. Yes. Whether somebody send a barrel or they come, they bring something overseas for you. Remember to say thank you because once again, people don't like to say thank you. I don't know what is it with we. I don't know.
We need to look into the history of that. Correct us if we're wrong. Do you say thank you a lot? We're gonna do a poll.
Yes, that's a good one.
We're gonna do a poll, and then we're gonna ask each and every one of you to vote. Make sure you vote whether or not you say thank you, and how often do you do it? Because I don't know why. Why?
I don't know. I think I laugh. I can't be wrong because I know enough time I be doing things, and I wait watching me phone on the WhatsApp. I see a thanks. Yeah, the money don't gone, receive, pick up. I get thanks yet. It's okay though. I know you had things to do, but a thank you would be appreciated.
Facts. I don't want to go off on a tangent. You know what? Let's move on to the next point because let's move on to the next point.
Okay, good. So quality time, and we want to talk about quality times, especially with our extended family gatherings. It's one thing a Caribbean person gonna do is show up for you. Right, which is good, and once again, that's what we love. So, that's good that we were able to do that. It's a party, somebody's birthday. We're gonna come. We're gonna have a good time. But what else can we do at these events? Just drink and eat and have a good time. But we can actually have some bonding, right? Do some group activity.
So wait, what he's saying is, when is the kid's birthday party, and then the adult is this kind of drinking the rum and
it's who birthday really? They're still coming for celebrate, little man. It doesn't matter. But when you go to these events, granny, bring your granddaughter in the kitchen, show her how to cook the food the way that you teach her mom, stuff like that, or her dad, stuff like that, right?
But but I think that's a really good point that you make, because I remember, even if I know party days, wedding day, if you're cooking, is intense in the kitchen, so it might be the perfect time to teach. But at least, involve them. Maybe take a little garlic, a little onion, something.
Exactly. Talk a little story about the family, about the past. That's so nice. Like, people like to hear where they come from.
Absolutely.
And especially some Caribbean family, we want to talk nothing what happened. Because sometimes it's not always good stories. But yeah, tell them a good story. It can't be bad.
Yeah.
Tell them a good story that they know where they come from. Right? Absolutely. And also like group outings and family reunions. I think that's a big
bring that back.
Yeah,
bring back family reunions.
Yeah, have a family reunions. That's a really, really good one. Just, share, all the different stories and have that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, definitely have that connection. Even like when people come and go to go home or whatever, spending a quality time, that somebody you and see them in a long time, but that though you gotta walk, no, you gotta this. Like, just make a time for them. Make a time for them. Even it's a good quality time. give somebody a call on the phone.
Yes.
A lot of people, especially from the Caribbean, you're calling people overseas. You're like, I want to call and they're walking, they're busy.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, check and see. Just send them a text, see what's going on, call them, make them, it make them feel special. You understand?
Yeah.
Make them feel like, you remember them and stuff like that. Like, have that time to spend with them. Yes, like people have busy lives on both sides, but calling and checking on somebody, spending some time on the phone with them. I mean, WhatsApp is free, y'all. Back in the days, we used to have to pay
by card
and all them things. And no, we gotta do all of those. And only time when we want cars when we want something. Come on, man. This person might like quality time. Spend some time on the phone. Check in, see how they're doing. And I'm not saying people only from Caribbean. People from America too. You call home with people too. You understand? When you're busy. Like for me, I live in a completely different time zone for my family. Right? Everybody on the East Coast. I not. So you know what I gotta do, because I want to show them that care. I gotta schedule time like on my lunches and stuff like that. I'll be like, you know what, this is a good time. I can call and talk to my friend. Because if I wait after work, guess what? Everybody in the bed. So I just gotta schedule time to do it. And people, yes, America, we working, we doing all these different things, but you can schedule time to talk to your family as well, because you care, because that's important. So let me spend, have that quality time. Because I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you a secret. If you're gonna wait till you need something for call, it mightn't go down. Call before. Check in on them. See how they're doing. You're more likely forget a thing you're asking for. Right? Both sides. Come on, for they bring something for we talk. Same thing.
Facts.
Okay.
And we should see communication, like having like smartphones, as a blessing.
True.
Because like we're so far apart. Like, we're all spread all across this country and in the Caribbean and stuff like that. And now we can connect with each other by a click of a button to, see each other's face on a FaceTime, on a WhatsApp video call, listen to their voice on a voice note. Like, we gotta do better. We can absolutely do better in checking in with each other and maintaining communication with each other. But, and another thing that we need to do, as much as, we think physical touch is just for romantic partners. No.
Yes.
There's like a study that says something about how many hugs you need a day. It was like a ridiculous amount. And it made me realize. And it made me realize.
It was like 8 or something.
It was at least 8.
Fact check that. You probably fact check that.
Yeah.
But it was a lot.
It was a lot. And I was like, damn, I am hug deprived. But, physical touch is important for each other. Like our body releases a chemical called serotonin that helps us to be calm, helps with like lowering stress and anxiety. So it really is very helpful. As fathers, hug your sons. Hug your sons now. Like, when you were a little boy, you wanted to be hugged. Hug your sons. We're living a different time. Yeah. And we can undo that that kind of teaching and belief that, men should not show affection. Yes. No, that's not true. Yeah. Hug your sons, hug your daughters, hug your wives. Just share hugs. And friends, hug each other too. Yep. If you have a friend that don't like physical touch at all, respect your boundaries. Like, don't go to jail for touching somebody if they don't want to be touched. And, if you see your friends going through a hard time, they're crying, give them a little hug, a little pat, sit with them in that moment and tell them that, I'm here for you, just in friendly ways you can show affection through physical touch. And it's something that we all should aim to do. Like, I love see when men do the little dap up. I'm like, that's so nice. Like, I love that. So keep it up.
Like yeah, exactly. I think, with Caribbean people, I guess we don't like to be vulnerable. I think that's the V word. It's a big word, right? Because, to do that, if somebody's crying or whatever, sometimes be like,
it's so awkward.
Yeah, let me go, right? But just being there, a tap on the shoulder, rub their shoulder, rub their back, and be like, it's hard what you're going through right now. But, let's do that. So why do we want to implement these love languages, right? Why do we want to do these things, right? I know a lot of viewers have said to us, like, well, I don't know what y'all feel. This is such an American thing. Or, they like tell me it's a white people thing. Stop it.
It's always a white people thing.
It's always a white people thing or rich people thing. These things are free. These things are free.
$3.99.
Almost free, right? So why we want to do this, right? Because we want to get better, right? We want to get better as a society, right? I know a lot of people be like, well, this thing is non-traditional. Well, that's what our podcast is about. That's what Laminate Healing is about, right? Mixing the non-tradition with our Caribbean tradition.
Absolutely.
Right? We want to lime and heal at the same time, right? So we not only going to the parties like we do, just go to the parties, whatever. What happens there? What happens at the party, right? So we want to ensure that we are growing as people. That's why we're here. Growing. It can't be the same way, doing the same thing all the time, because you know what? We're gonna have the same issues. And then wondering, oh, why nothing is changing? Yeah. Because you're not doing anything to change, right? So we're now here learning and implementing and fixing. So let's go ahead and continue to do that. Yeah, and definitely we also, don't just listen to this episode, this podcast. Like, really try to apply to your life, because that's the only way it would actually work and make sense. Because the power is in the application, not just the listening. So please, you will do us a great favor by actually, applying this to your lives and definitely improving on those relationships. But we really hope that, this information is good to you and you've enjoyed it. And we can definitely answer any questions you may have. So don't forget, leave your questions in the comments or DM us directly. Yes. And we'll answer. Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. So we want to introduce a new segment. I know last week we did introduce a segment called Think Nice Bad. This one is What Vex Me. Right? So this segment is basically, we're going to talk about things that we don't like. In last episode, we talked about things that we like. This one's things that we don't like. Things that we might see that might be a pet peeve or something that was like, I ain't think this right or whatever. So in the spirit of Carnival season, we want to talk about party packages. Oh my God. Right? Don't even get me started. Oh my goodness. So, because Carnival, and even the parties in itself, right? There's, people charging, a additional fee for the party, right? And it's not even like the Carnival package, but it's just a party and people charging. So basically, what's a party package? You go to you pay this lump sum amount just to go to this party, right? So the recent package that I saw, that was like, it's crazy. $5,000, and I'm talking US dollars, y'all. $5,000 to get to the party. No, it's not no musical guests. It's not no comedian, some entertainer. Nobody even doing something little magic, right? You're just there. You're just having a party, and $5,000. So if you're overseas, whatever country you're in, do your math and figure out how much this thing is. Because it was crazy, right? $5,000 party. So when I look at the things, I was like, So the first thing, and when I went into it, I was like, let me see what the party, what it offers. And the first thing, it said that $5,000 for this package, but it's for a certain amount of people, right? But you get one water with this party. One water. Each person gets it. We're in a recession, inflation. Y'all stay home and save your money. No, come on, y'all. We want to have the party, we want to have a good time, but it gotta make sense. Well, it gotta make sense at all. And this party package, guess what? You gotta pay for the code check. 25. Like, so you gotta pay $25 additional dollars to the 5,000. So what if 5,000 include? The 5,000 include. You get some alcohol. I don't know, because remember, if it divide amongst the people or whatever. But y'all, come on, thanks y'all. For vex me, cause what? Right, that's highway robbery. $5,000, we can throw a whole backyard bashment. You even try a wedding, bro. People try a wedding for less than that, right? To vex and there's just one party package. That's just one of the party packages. So come on, y'all. The promoters, we not dissing y'all. I know y'all want to make y'all money back, but it's a party, right? It's a party. I don't see. I mean, think about people that can make it make sense. You understand? Make it make sense, because $5,000. $5,000 is just a party package. Come on, y'all. I'm sorry. So that's what vexed me this week. These ridiculous party packages. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna pay the door fee. Set up in my little corner. I need no table. I need no the girls with the thing. Just come on,
the girls.
the bottle service. God bless y'all and what y'all do. I don't need all that to have a good time. Once the music good and I got my drink, I am good to go.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what vexed me this week. Y'all telling me what vexing y'all this week, right? Put it in the comments. Let us know, and we'll talk about it right here on the show. Okay.
Well, that just vexed me all the way. But thank you so much for tuning in this week for another episode of the Lyman and Healing podcast. We're so grateful that you've made it this far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments below. Definitely click on the notification bell so that you get that notification whenever we upload a new episode, which is every week. Definitely follow us on all social media platforms at Lyman and Healing. And, there you'll see more of our personalities. And, once again, it's a way for you to connect with us. You can send us DMs. We love to answer questions. Like, that's something we will look forward to is answering your questions. So
Yes.
if you have anything that's going on, you need an unbiased third-party opinion.
Yes, unbiased.
We're your people. So definitely let us know. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next time. And once again, don't forget to
bustle line. See you next time.